Hello, and welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. My name is Joanne, and I'm a Dutchie, and I want to learn about life and living in Australia by watching YouTube videos about life and living in Australia. And I do this because it's all the way down there, down under, and I'm afraid of flying. So for now, this is for me the best way to learn more and getting more and more in love with Australia. By watching YouTube videos and getting a lot of response of an ever-growing community who gives me all kinds of feedback how life really is in Australia. And for Salvo, we're going to take a look at what driving in Australia is really like. So yeah, I know they drive on the left side of the road, so that's already strange to me. I never been to Great Britain on the other side, although I could, but I never been to. So I never drove on the left side of the road, so that's that should be a strange one for me to start with. But Ola Greg, if I pronounce his name correct, will show me what it really is to drive in Australia. So let's dive into the video. And he's walking on, oh boy, I would say flip-flops. Oh no, I know it's not correct. Thong. Yeah. And I saw some comments who told me it's allowed, and other comments told me it's not allowed to wear thongs or being barefoot in the car. And I don't know if it's state dependent or that it doesn't matter if you're wearing a thong or barefoot. I don't know, but I had contradicting commentaries as in it is not or it is. So I don't know, but he's wearing thongs. So let's continue.
God damn. The 2012
God damn. That's not Australian.
Maserati 3 hatchback. A modern marvel of Japanese reliability. And my first car here in Australia.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I think I would make the same mistake.
All right. So I just bought my first car here in Australia. And in this video, I'm going to show you around town here in the tropical far north. And I'm going to show you what exactly is different driving here as opposed to what I'm used to driving back home in the States. I'll talk...
Oh, so it's an American. Okay. Don't shoot me. Shoot him.
A little bit about why I bought the car and give you a rundown of exactly what the process looked like to getting set up to drive here as a foreigner. And at the end of the video, I'll take you along for my first trip camping here in Australia.
Is already good that he accepts that he is a foreigner and not an American. I know. Okay. $60. I saw the sign 60, and Australia is not in miles, so we're talking about 60 kilometers an hour. Okay, and I think that I would start the same as somewhere on the outside just to feel how it is.
All right, so I'm on my way to head into town right now, and on the way, I'm gonna tell you what's different about driving day to day here versus what I'm used to back home in the States.
Back home, so he's not living in Australia, he's only working there or holiday, or why would you buy a car? All right.
Scared.
All right, so the first and most obvious thing is going to be driving on the opposite side of the road from what I'm used to.
Ah, but it's bicycles. There's a bicycle on the floor. Huh?
Is
Back
going to
up.
be driving.
This is a bicycle? I understand bicycle, or is this a warning that there will be a bicycle crossing? Oh, that could be. Oh, nice. Nice. Not a shield, not a sign. I guess this is one of the signs, but this is a bicycle path that I guess will merge into something like this.
On the
Take a look, take a look, take a look, take a look. Yeah, the arrows. So it's a warning that bicycles merging into the driving lane. And the sign,
of the road from what I'm used to.
Oh, yeah. And then a roundabout. Ooh.
And in this case, that means driving on the left side, as in the States, it's typical to drive on the right-hand side of the road. Now, honestly, driving on the left-hand side of the road really was not that bad. I was really nervous about it at first, but it took about an hour, and then I became pretty comfortable driving on this side versus the right side of the road. Surprisingly, it's all of like the little things that kind of lag behind when getting used to driving on this side of the road. Of course, walking up to my car, half the time I'll get like halfway towards the wrong side of the car door, and then I'll turn around and realize that it's the other side that I'm getting into for driving. When I'm reversing out of a spot, I always want to reach over this side because that's what I'm used to.
Muscle memory. Yeah. Yeah, looking back. Yeah. Are there no bicycles? Should be, even on the right side of the car. You have to look right outside because bicycle. Oh, wait a minute. Bicycles also on the left side. Oh my God. Of course. So you have to look that side to check if there are no bicycles on the left. Ah. Oh boy. Everything in mirror.
And it feels really awkward to reach over and reverse like this using my right hand instead of my left. Windshield wipers when I'm signaling is another big thing. Not so much now that I'm used to it, but I used to flip my windshield wipers instead of my signals.
Oh, did they change? Is that mirror too? I had the understanding that even that the driving wheel is moved from left to right, all the handles and the switches are all in the same as it would be on the other side. And he's saying also that those handles have different functions switched also in mirror versus the cars that we use in Europe.
All of the time.
I don't even know how to drive this thing.
And that's just because the windshield wipers are where the signals usually are for me from what I'm used to. And then one last thing is I find myself leaning towards the left-hand side of the road when I should be trying to lean towards the right-hand side now, as that's what's closer to my driver's side and kind of closer to where I want to be. All right, so shopping's done. I'm gonna take you to one of the cooler viewpoints around town here in Cairns, and yeah.
Wow. Look at this. Trees everywhere. Nice view. No high-rise buildings. And beautiful mountainside on the back. Ah. He called it. Oh boy.
So yeah, definitely another thing about driving here in Oz are just the sheer number of roundabouts. And
In Oz. City Oz? Or I don't know.
In the US, when you're going through a roundabout, typically most of them will have a stop sign. You'll stop, yield oncoming traffic, and then go through the roundabout.
Yeah, but most Americans don't have roundabouts. Typical something for Europe.
Here, as long as you're not interrupting the flow of traffic and you're yielding to whoever's behind you coming through the roundabout, you can just go straight through. This felt kind of intimidating at first because at first it seems pretty hectic seeing the traffic go through the roundabout. Now that I'm used to it, I think it's great. But yeah, when I first started going through the roundabouts, I was a little bit nervous.
Yeah, but that's what we do also over here in Europe and in the Netherlands. Everywhere that I drove over here in Europe, you go with the flow on the roundabout. But having a stop sign, no. That's typical American who have stop signs everywhere because they don't know how to yield.
Another thing that's interesting here is when you're turning left, it's the equivalent of a right-hand turn in the States, basically turning into oncoming traffic, or turning into the flow of traffic, I should say. In the States, if it's a red light and you're turning into the flow of traffic, you can just turn on the red light. Here in Oz, you have to wait until the light turns green unless there's a sign that specifically says that you can turn left on a red.
Yeah, typical American, turn right on red. That's something that wasn't happening here in Europe, because in Europe we have bicycles and pedestrians who crossing on your right side. So, but you don't have those in America. So you can turn right on red because you don't have to be afraid that there would be a bicycle next to you or people walking on the right side of your car. So, yeah. But we also have, and I've seen it not so much in the Netherlands, but I've seen a couple of them in Germany that actually says, like he says, that you can go right when the light is red. That's but there's no way when there is a bicycle lane or a pedestrian walkway or whatever. No.
Oh, hey, funny seeing you here. So we just pulled off to the side of the road and I thought I'd explain why I bought a car here in Australia. So for the first 5 months that I've lived here in Australia, I was getting around mostly by public transport and cycling. And after I got hit by a car on my way to work while cycling, I decided I was gonna buy a car primarily for safety. But the other reason I bought a car here is Australia is absolutely massive, and to get to a lot of the places that
Yeah, the States is also massive, but Australian is as big as.
I think are really interesting, especially with nature and stuff like that. You really do need a car to go out and explore those places. So why specifically the Mazda 3? To be honest, it was cheap. And yeah, Mazdas are fairly reliable for the price. So it just kind of made sense all around for me. The very kind of stereotypical car, at least in my head as an American, would be something like the Hilux with the flatbed tray. That's a very iconic Australian car. Or maybe like a Land Cruiser as well. Those are kind of the ones that come to mind when I think of a classic Australian car. One other thing that is sweet about the Mazda 3 is this one is a hatchback. And I'm not saying this is ideal. You could camp in the back of this thing, I reckon. Not quite sure, but I haven't actually tried this myself yet. But you throw the seats down and you push the front seats up and you got yourself a little room back here, dude.
I believe he is the first American who actually accept that the cars are smaller and that you can actually use them as a car. and not as a status symbol. The bigger the car, the better my job. Are the cars in Australia mainly automatic or manual? Because in Europe we still have a lot of manual driven cars. Everybody's taught by using manual with the clutch, etc., to drive. And the Americans always have a lot of problems when they come over to Europe that they can't find automatic cars because they are way more expensive than the manual driven. So how's this in Australia? Is it mainly manual driven or mainly automatically? Let me know in the comments. And you will, I know.
One thing definitely worth mentioning is the process to getting your license here in Australia. And for me as an American, this was honestly shockingly easy. The only thing I needed to do was go into the transportation office here. I showed them my passport, my American driver's license, and proof of where I actually live, or like proof of my address. And then 2 weeks later, I'd received my Aussie driver's license in the mail. Another thing that's really cool about...
That won't work in Europe. No. Not with an American driver's license. Because American driver's licenses are handing over like cookies. Oh, you know how to drive from A to B, 600 meters. Okay, you have your driver's license and go. No. Driving in Europe actually means learning how to drive. I don't know how it is in Australia, but it won't work. Yeah, he says it's very easy in Australia, but it won't work in Europe. You actually have to prove that you have a valid driver's license with valid knowledge about your car, about the rules of Europe in this case, before you can get your driver's license to be of any value in Europe. You can drive your own car.
Driving here is how easy it is to get set up with your car. So I bought a secondhand car, obviously, and if you're going to do that, there's a few things that you will need beforehand before getting the vehicle registered in your name. And the first thing you're going to need is a roadworthy certificate. And essentially what this is a mechanic checks over your car and makes sure that everything is good to go on the road before you actually get it re-registered in your name and start driving on the streets here.
Okay, that's very good. Something that in the States not happen. Over in Europe, yes. Every year from the time that your car is 3 years old, you have to go every year to get up a checkup of all the technical points of your car. And if it's not okay, you are mandatory to either sell your car, buy a new one, or repair. Then you have a couple of weeks time to repair and then put it on for a recheck. And then if it's checked out okay, then you can drive for another year in that car.
One of the coolest things about vehicle registration here in Australia is that your vehicle registration includes a mandatory compulsory third-party insurance, or CTP insurance. And with this CTP insurance that comes with your registration, once you have that, you're good to drive on the roads here.
Mandatory. Whoa. Third-party insurance. Why does he specifically call it third-party? You have to have an insurance for your car. Or does he mean if you have other people in your car that they are insured too? Okay, but that's again the insurance that we have also over here. So why is he calling it third party? He did. CTP only cover for injuries of the other person in an accident. Oh, liability. Yeah, but that's a liability insurance. That's also, but that's in the Netherlands, and as far as I know, in all of Europe, it's mandatory to have a liability insurance anyway. Doesn't matter if you have a car or not. If you don't drive a car, you still have a liability insurance. So that's something specifically for a car.
Insurance that comes with your registration. Once you have that, you're good to drive on the roads here. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that you shouldn't get additional insurance.
CTP, compensation payment for people injured or killed in a motor vehicle accident. Other people. Doesn't cover damage to other people's property or vehicle, damage to your own property or vehicle, fire and theft. That's the CTP. And then the third party insurance covers damage to other people's property or vehicles, damage to your own property or vehicle, up to 5,000. Doesn't cover cost of third party injuries. Okay. In Europe, your insurance is good for damage to your own car and your own body, and damage to other people's car and injuries, and like this, the cause of third parties injuries after an accident. Yeah. So this is all covered in Europe. So there's a real difference between the CTP and the third party. Strange name, third party insurance.
But as far as legally driving on the road here, once you have your registration set up, you're good to go. All right, so I just pulled off to the servo, or the gas station as you would call it back home in the US. And the most interesting thing about getting gas here, at least as an American, is that you go in after you fuel up to pay, almost always. So you don't even pay, there's no way to pay at the pump. You have to go in and pay, at least at every servo that I've been to. And I don't really know why this is the case, but yeah, that's definitely something to get used to.
Yeah, I know. We in Europe have the same. You can pay at the gas pump itself, especially late at night, or when there is no man in the station. There's an unmanned gas station, and then you can pay at the pump. But most of the time, when you go to a gas station, you fill up your gas tank and then pay afterwards. And that's something that's not used to in the US, because we trust our drivers, we trust our people. So, by the way, if you don't and you drive on without paying after you have filled up your car, the penalty is 160 euros for not paying at the gas stations, plus another 320 euros of driving on without paying. So, yeah, there is a big incentive to actually go in and pay.
I also picked up a servo or gas station sausage roll. My roommate swears by these. I don't really think it's gonna be that good, but I am going to give it a shot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, for coming from a heat lamp, it's pretty good. But yeah, definitely something that you eat and then you feel terrible after eating it. All right.
But the area he's driving through is marvelous.
So, right now I am driving out of town. We are going towards the bush to go camping, and I thought this would be a good time to show you kind
60, okay.
of what it looks like.
When sign is blank, 60. inside the city is what, 50 or 40? In Europe, inside the city is 50. Some areas, 30 kilometers an hour. Outside the city, depends on, in the Netherlands, outside the city, and in Belgium too, is outside the city is 80. In Germany, outside the city is 100. So, yeah.
Driving away from the actual city here in Australia, or at least driving out away from the city here in the tropical north of Australia. The first thing I notice when I'm driving outside of
yeah, watch out, Roos, for the next 10 kilometers.
the city here in Australia is that it is pretty noticeable that speed limits here are a bit slower than over in the US. And it's even more apparent
Highest,
a bit slower than over in
highest I've seen is 100 kilometers per hour. 110 is the max in Queensland. Okay. Yeah, it depends where you are in Europe. The Netherlands, after 7 o'clock in the evening, it's 120 until the next morning 6. Yeah, from 6 to 7, it's 100, and after 7 to 6 in the morning is 120. In Germany, totally depends on where you are in the country. If you are on a highway or on, sometimes it's 100 anyway, sometimes it's 120, sometimes 110, sometimes there is no speed limit. So yeah, depends.
in the US. And it's even more apparent because no one here speeds. So everyone pretty much stays right at the posted speed limit on roads.
Relax, this is Australia.
And in the States, that is totally different. On the freeway, as we would call it back home, it's typical to see people going up to 10 miles an hour over the speed limit. And when I say people, I mean like the general flow of traffic will be going somewhere around 5 to 10 miles per hour over the speed limit. It's been about 30.
Yep. Over here in the Netherlands, we have cameras checking your speed. So, and in the United States, as far as I know, the most that I saw was almost only by cops monitoring with their guns. I don't know how it is in Australia, but if people already kept within the speed limit, why not?
30 minutes since leaving Cairns. And it's crazy to me how it's only 30 minutes of driving and we're already out in a totally different climate. So this right here looks a lot more like what you would kind of traditionally expect Australia to look like, I think.
In the bush. Yeah. But again, looks wonderful to cycle through.
So I guess you just follow me. Ilma will drive.
All right, yeah, so just met up with my friend Seb. He's the car in front of me. We are going to start hitting a bit of a dirt patch of road to get to the campsite. So, yeah, should be fun. Man.
Then there is no left or right side of the road. Just on the road.
And look at the color of that dirt.
And there's the corrugation.
Yeah, so we just arrived at camp. Yeah, we're gonna set up camp and see how we go. So, just about finished setting up camp. Seb and Ilma have the Taj Mahal of tents over here.
Taj Mahal of tents. Looks good.
You want to give us the MTV Cribs tour? Let's see what you got. Dude, that is pretty crazy that you have like a 2-story tent.
This is such a setup right here.
And then I have this sad tent over here, and I forgot to bring the poles for my...
Oh boy. Yeah, the tent that I have when I travel with my bike is an 8 seconds tent, they call it, an 8 seconds. So it's get out, I throw it in the air, tuk, 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 bangs. When, by the time it reaches the ground, it's all set up. I only have to anchor it to the ground and that's it. Finished.
tent. So I was joking about it earlier, but I'm actually going to have to sleep in the trunk of my car tonight, so. We're just gonna go kind of chill, hang out, explore the campsite a bit more, but I think that's gonna be it for this video. Thanks for watching, and catch you in the next one.
Yeah, looks like a nice place that they are. Some lake or maybe a river. Nice camping site. Wow. Okay. An American, again, explaining how it is in Australia and how he experienced driving in Australia. How it's really like. I know. Is he right, or are there some things that it's not completely accurate as he told it? Let me know in the comments. And if you like the video, then press like. And if you want to see more of my videos, then this is a good place to start with. And otherwise, it would be really appreciated if you hit the subscribe button, or you can buy me a coffee. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.